Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, our show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're checking into the show, man. We appreciate the check-in. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, follow Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'll make sure I put it in the description below. If you agree, make sure you hit the like button. If you disagree, please, by all means, put your comment. It's welcome. It's welcome over here, man. We want all the smoke, man. Hope everybody's doing well. Good weekend of football. There's a lot of pivotal games. Just finished watching the Colts and the Niners play. Big win by the Niners. Kind of basically put the Colts out. They're not out, but it's a very low percentage chance that they're going to make the playoffs. And that's a bad thing. But we're gonna talk just NFL today. But I wanted to start the show and give a shout out to both of the fantasy leagues that I participate in. I've been doing fantasy football probably about 7, maybe 8 years, something like that. One, the sweatshop with the fellas who actually listen to the pod and shit like that, man. I think I'm gonna finish 5th, which is not bad. I made the playoffs this year. Had the number 1 seed for about 2 weeks. But shout out to Fred. Shout out to Freddy's Nightmare. He pulled it off. He beat Philly Special. Fred is the champ. Now, in my other league, Sacks in the City, you looking at the champ. That's right. Young Polo. All right? And I'm going to be real with you, man. Like, fantasy football is not fun unless you got characters in the league, to me. You know what I mean? It's nothing. You got to have a little shit talk. You got to have a little, back and forth. You got to have people that's competitive. I can't do this dry fantasy league. Like, I thought about maybe starting a league at my new job, but I'm like, I just found out a couple of ladies actually are football fans. They're Cowboy fans, but they are football fans. So I'll think about it, but I'm going to be picking up my hardware tomorrow as well as my cash. And Fred, I'm not paying my fee, man, until 11:59 on Friday, a minute before the due date, because I'm petty like that. But yeah, man, we got a good show. It's not too long, man. We just want to talk about the NFL, see where we at, see exactly what's going on, and who I like, who I don't like, who I think is fraud. So tune in. Coming up right now. The NFL season is getting ready to come to a close, man, and we're getting to the nitty-gritty playoff time. Teams flipping. We got the Carolina Panthers coming up, looking like they're going to actually get into the playoffs. Buccaneers falling off. Colts falling off. Denver, Jacksonville, surging. Let's break it down, man. As you can see, I got the graphic up front. Courtesy of ESPN. Shout out to them. As you can see in the top of the AFC, it's completely different than what it's been in the past years. Usually that's Baltimore, that's Buffalo, that's Kansas City up at the top. Right now, you got Denver, you got Jacksonville, the Chargers are up there. Buffalo's still in the mix at number 6. Baltimore still has a chance, but it's not looking good. Who I like out of the AFC, my wife actually just asked me, I'm sorry. My wife just asked me, that was a tongue twister for some reason. Who do I think is going to the Super Bowl? It was a good question because I wasn't really thinking about the Super Bowl, but I feel like I got to see the matchups. But if you had to put a gun to my head and make me pick right now before the playoffs even start, depending on injuries, I'm going to say I think Buffalo, this is Buffalo's year. Their defense is okay, is what I would say about their defense. They seem to make big plays and big moments, though. And I think that's a good formula for a championship team. Of course, you got Josh Allen on the other side. You got James Cook. You got some good weapons on the outside, great tight ends. I think this is Buffalo's year. I don't think they're going to have to worry about going through Baltimore, Kansas City. Those are the teams that have really been tripping them up in the past. But Denver does look good. Denver looks good. I just don't believe in Denver. I'm honestly, I don't believe in Denver, and I don't believe in Bo Nix. I'm not saying that he's not good, okay? And I'm not saying that Denver's not a good team, but that's a young team. They got a great defense over there. Great defense. And if they keep the number 1 seed, it is going to go up. It's going to be very hard to go up there and beat them. It is. But if anybody can do it, I think Josh Allen can do it. To be honest with you, I think Josh Allen can do it. Hell, Jacksonville just went up there and smacked them. You know what I'm saying? Jacksonville is another sleeper team. I think Jacksonville can get all the way to the AFC Championship game. I would not be surprised if we see Josh Allen versus Trevor Lawrence in the AFC Championship game. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. Jacksonville has a legit defense, great weapons on offense. Trevor Lawrence is playing out his mind. It's by far his best year as a pro. Maybe not statistically, but as far as going out there, getting it done, winning big games, to me, best year by far. Best year by far. So I like Buffalo out of the AFC. We're going to see how it plays out. We got some Christmas games coming up. Still got a little bit of playoff movement that could possibly happen. I think Denver needs to win out. I think Jacksonville needs to win out. So, and the Texans are scary. They're just really inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball, to me. The Texans are very inconsistent. When C.J. Stroud is great, they are damn near impossible to beat. But when he is bad, they are bad. They are bad. They go as he goes. And I think that's a little bit on the offensive coordinator and head coaching. I think DeMeco Ryans is great, but they got to figure out a way to keep him more consistent and healthy. Their offensive line has not necessarily kept him very healthy, man. But let's shoot over to the NFC, see what we got over there. On the NFC side of things, man, we have right now at the top, I believe Chicago. Chicago's up at the top. San Francisco's up there. Philly's still hanging around. Detroit still has a shot. And Green Bay still in it. And, of course, Seattle. Seattle's up at closer to the top as well. I think Seattle's number 2 seed, actually. And the Rams. I think the NFC is a little bit deeper with teams that I think can actually go all the way. I think the Rams can go all the way. I think Philly, with the right mindset, has the tools to go all the way. I think Seattle has a shot, definitely if they can get some home field advantage. And Brock Purdy and the Niners, man. I would have never saw that coming. I like the way Dallas was looking. They were playing great. It just wasn't enough. They still got too many pieces, too many holes to fill over there. Pause. But San Francisco does look really, really good. San Francisco looks really good. They look very scary. Only thing that worries me is that when you start playing those elite teams, they set a stat tonight on Monday Night Football. It says they're the worst team in the NFL currently with as far as sacking the quarterback. You're going to need that when the playoffs start. You're going to need that. You know what I mean? That's why Micah Parsons is such a big piece for Green Bay, because he can actually rush the passer. They don't have to blitz all the time. It changes the dynamic of the game. Big plays happen when you sack the quarterback, and that's something that they're going to have to fix. That's why there probably wouldn't be a team that I would pick to go all the way. But, again, would not be surprised. Great coaching. Purdy's playing out his mind. Kittle got hurt a little bit tonight, but it didn't look too serious. Looked like it was more a precautionary thing. Christian McCaffrey is having another ridiculous season, and Jawan Jennings is coming on as a number 1 as far as wide receivers are concerned. He's really coming on. I mean, that's a position with Brandon Ayuk and all the other pieces that are missing that you thought they would have been weak at. But, I mean, Jennings just makes big plays. He makes big plays all the time, man. And with Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy playing consistent, they're a problem. Philly, I do think Philly has a real shot. Jalen Hurts, no doubt, is an elite quarterback. You got an elite running back. Goddard's great on the tight end, and they got great defenders. They're fresh off of a Super Bowl, so they may not be, as motivated until they actually get in. That's why I reserve the right to say that Philly could definitely go all the way. All right. Do I think they're going all the way? I'm not sure. I think this is the Rams' year. I think they're the most complete team. Double-headed running back, great defense, good offensive line. Matthew Stafford. Got to see what happens with Devontae Adams, though. That's a big piece you're missing. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need him to get to the Super Bowl for sure. You're definitely gonna need him to get to the Super Bowl, man. But I like the Rams. So if I had to pick anybody right now, I'd say it'd probably be the Rams and the Buffalo Bills. I literally told my wife a completely different answer. I just thought about that shit. I think I told her Buffalo, but I think I said Philly. And again, I do think Philly has a shot. Chicago, no disrespect to the Chicago fans, man. Los, don't get on me if you're watching this long into the episode. I like Chicago. I like Chicago, but it's just very rare to get to the Super Bowl with a really, really young quarterback. And as great as Caleb Williams is, definitely he can change the mold. He can change that narrative. The talent is there. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But they are at the top. They are at the top with Seattle. Seattle's another one that's the NFC playoffs are going to be great. They're going to be great. You're going to see teams really, really battling it out. And I don't think I want to play Carolina in the first round if I'm any of these teams. If Carolina somehow gets past that wild card game and has a game against Philly, the Rams, Seattle, hey, that's a team you better be careful about because Bryce Young is finding his way. That young team is growing up right before our eyes, and they're going to be a problem next year, especially if they add and their GM does the right thing as far as personnel is concerned. So I wouldn't want to play them. And if Baker gets in, man, you got to watch out for Big Bake. So I think the NFC playoffs are going to be amazing. I think the football playoffs period is going to be amazing. We got Christmas coming up, man. I'll definitely get an episode out because I am off work as of tomorrow. Thank God. Tomorrow will be my last day, man. So I'm going to try to get a Christmas Day NBA episode out. But in the meantime, man, happy holidays to everybody. As you can see, we got my man Polo the Snowman back here. Happy holidays, man. I hope everybody has a very safe and loving Christmas. Be with your family, man. Have a good time. Kick back. Stay out of trouble. Go outside, man, but be safe, man. Make sure you get yourself home. This is Marcus. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. Front Office Podcast. Tees and Trees is the clothing line. Peace.